but I'm scared. I'm a mess. I got my sprained ankle.
That's the whole point of this fight. It creates conversation, barbershop conversations, taxi conversations, airplane conversations, and that's what we want. The more people talking about the fight.
The venue swung from a roar of noise to a shocked quiet and back again within just a few heartbeat-length exchanges. Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul was framed as a meeting of generations. A proven heavyweight searching for renewal and a fighter born from social media who has spent years converting spectacle into legitimacy. When the final bell sounded, the internet erupted. Clips looped, opinions flew, and armchair analysts dissected every second. In the moments that followed, both fighters finally addressed the night. Honest, restrained, and unyielding. What happened reached beyond one name written on a scorecard.
At the end of the day, I'm a kid with a big heart that wants to change the world, disruptor, and I never took no for an answer, and I'm just chasing my dreams, having fun, and living the American dream, really. It's a testament to hard work, and every single day dedicating yourself to a craft, pushing through when you don't want to be there, and it all pays off in the long run, and believing in yourself, setting goals that people think are impossible. That's really what my story is all about.
There is a particular stillness that settles after major boxing nights. Not silence itself, but a tense pause before order returns to disorder. Coaches monitored health, physicians moved through their checks, and each camp disappeared behind closed doors. When statements were released, they felt intimate and unfiltered. Admissions of exhaustion, sharp respect, and a controlled anger only competitors truly carry. Joshua's first words sounded like a man inventorying what the battle had cost and returned. Missed openings, lost rounds, moments destined for endless breakdowns. Paul's opening reaction, balancing swagger with deep honesty, focused on the emotional climate of the bout, the isolation, the noise, the endless shards of judgment after every disputed moment. Both circled the same theme. Respect for the occasion, gratitude toward the audience, and a desire to let the fight settle into memory before shrinking it to a single sentence on a decision slip.
He has a very side-on stance, tries to practice the Philly shell, and I think Jake has a chance that is slim to none.
Appreciate it.
All good?
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you very much.
See you guys.
Heavyweight of the world!
Yeah, can you get my back? No. For the first week of sparring, I had to get comfortable in there and let things slow down and feel the power out and get the confidence to slip, catch, move.
Before the fight, forecasts were everywhere and sharply divided. Bookmakers and many experts positioned Anthony Joshua as the clear favorite, listing him as the likely winner across most markets. That outlook echoed through major outlets and wagering platforms. From an analytical standpoint, CBS Sports and Sportsline combat analyst Josh Nagel favored Joshua, with Nagel's primary prop selections including Joshua by TKO or KO, reflecting his history against elite opponents and proven finishing ability. Yahoo Sports analysts also pointed to Joshua as the most probable fighter to end the contest early, noting how officiating and the magnitude of the event could lean toward the seasoned heavyweight. Still, agreement was far from complete. Prominent boxing voices and several notable fighters offered opposing views. Tyson Fury, never hesitant to back his opinions with words or money, openly suggested Paul could land a fight-altering shot and even said he would wager heavily on Paul in theory. Fury's stance fueled the idea that a shock result remained realistic. Dana White, characteristically direct, delivered an assessment that blended doubt about crossover hype with reluctant admiration for Paul's willingness to face heavyweight stakes, a signal that boxing's power brokers were observing, evaluating, and occasionally taken aback. Then there were the fighters' own predictions. Jake Paul, after years of declaring his mission to disrupt tradition, confidently forecast a win and maintained that Anthony Joshua could not knock him out, voicing that belief on platforms like Pat McAfee's show and throughout early promotion. That divide in pre-fight opinion added value to the event. When the underdog has vocal supporters and the favorite has data-driven authority behind him, the bout gains a cinematic weight that makes each round feel monumental. Afterward, commentators followed familiar patterns. Some walked back earlier takes, others reinforced their positions, and many highlighted moments that caught them off guard. A number of former champions and active fighters admitted misjudging the rhythm. Others treated the bout as a teaching moment. Amir Khan, for example, spoke about the punch that could halt influencer boxing, praising Joshua's capacity to impose traditional knockout power and structure on a modern spectacle. Additional fighters turned to social platforms to discuss technique, control of the ring, and the rare instances when crowd momentum flipped expectations. What stood out was the candor. Few tried to hide their mistakes. Instead, many used the fight to discuss fundamentals. How to prepare for a social media-raised fighter refined by rounds with seasoned fringe professionals. And how a veteran like Joshua must ready himself for threats both physical and narrative, the kind that can influence officials, broadcasters, and momentum itself.
Well, it's very tough to say something about Joshua or Jake. I'm waiting for this fight because I'm so excited. But, Jake have a lot of chance to win. And a lot of people think he not, but I believe in Jake. Joshua is the best fighter and have a lot of experience in boxing. He's a heavyweight guy. But Jake improved a lot, and the people need respect both, because it's not everybody have sorry my English, but have a balls for come inside the ring and fight.
From the opening bell, the energy was sharp and fast, with early bursts showing how Paul's awkward, attacking angles might find openings. Some rounds unfolded like classic heavyweight contests, using reach control, probing jabs, and committed power punches. Sequences that appeared ordinary in still frames felt massive in real time, a tight uppercut that made the crowd hold its breath, a brief misstep that altered momentum across an entire round. Afterward, both fighters addressed those defining moments with mutual respect. Joshua's side emphasized sharp jabs and effective power sequences. Paul's camp highlighted gritty inside work and a composure in the ring that contradicted his unconventional route into top-level spotlight. Both teams centered their reflections on what the bout demanded from each fighter. Fresh respect, new uncertainties, and a collection of unanswered possibilities. If the ring was the stage for the contest, social media was where it became permanent. One exchange, a clean impact, or a near knockdown turned into the shared language of the night. That moment replayed endlessly across feeds. Analysts, celebrities, and everyday viewers debated form and execution, frame by frame. Memes stretched a fleeting expression into endless commentary. Both fighters embraced that space. Brief, unfiltered clips from locker rooms or en route to medical checks pulled fans closer to the inner circle. The result blended relatability and revenue at once. Private moments and reflective post-fight posts convinced audiences they were seeing authenticity, not a carefully steered storyline. Coaches from both corners spoke with precision. Joshua's team pointed to lapses in distance control and the need to keep a tighter guard against unorthodox approaches. Paul's coaches praised stamina and resilience while admitting strategic gaps against a sharpshooter like Joshua. Both sides framed their analysis as education. Neither used the moment for posturing or excuses. Instead, they offered technical evaluations. Why a certain round shifted, how tempo stressed a strategy, and what adjustments were needed ahead. Those remarks read like assignments the fighters will carry into their next camps.
Those big discrepancies in skill, sometimes the better fighter carries the other fighter or maybe goes a little easier. Is there any part of you that maybe thinks that way, or are you going in there 100%?
Zero part of me. And it's not even that it's Jake. It's just, do you know, I was actually looking at myself today. I'm a very respectful guy, brought up by a good family, but if I can kick you, I will kick you. That's just how I am. And this is just the job I do, so.
This bout moved real financial needles. Betting lines shifted during the fight and throughout the following weekend. Pay-per-view numbers were scrutinized, and promoters eyed potential rematches with intensity. Platforms like CBS and other wagering analysts released prop data and updated odds live. It underscored that modern boxing blends athletic competition with analytics-driven entertainment. Network executives will track replays and subscription bumps for weeks. A night filled with drama becomes a form of capital. It bankrolls future events, draws in new audiences, and can reshape a fighter's value almost instantly. While commentators debated technique, fans debated significance. Social timelines filled with personal reactions and long-held loyalties. Veteran fans criticized the spectacle. Younger viewers embraced the fusion of media and skill, and neutral watchers admitted the event pulled them in. A common feeling emerged. This was an experience people were glad to witness. Both fighters expressed gratitude to supporters in separate statements, recognizing that regardless of the result, the show only exists because people watched and cared. Talk of a rematch started ringside and never truly faded. For promoters, it's the natural move. Dispute drives demand, and a second fight markets itself. Publicly, both camps stayed deliberately vague, a standard tactic that maintains leverage while testing audience interest. Seasoned boxing insiders understand that a rematch becomes unavoidable when the first contest leaves unresolved debates. Both fighters kept the option alive, meaning the narrative continues. Additionally, each camp stressed health in their comments, citing monitoring and preventive evaluations. Important reminders that beyond storylines and revenue, long-term well-being comes first. Those notes cooled some of the more heated online discourse and redirected focus toward recovery and future plans. Fights have a way of reshaping stories. For Joshua, this adds another section to a career marked by championships, difficult losses, and reinvention. For Paul, it serves as a pivotal validation or challenge for a path built on attention and credible results. Both referenced legacy in their remarks. One spoke of it as a journey. The other treated it as immediate responsibility. Both seemed aligned on one idea. Legacy is defined by reaction. What follows in training, media, and competition may matter more than any single result. By night's end, both men spoke with humility mixed with resolve. They thanked their teams, acknowledged pain and frustration equally, and vowed to return to the gym with purpose.
Is that they're talking about is a massive bonus. So for me, I'm not too sure about, I'm not worried about what people think about the integrity side. I'm more worried about, are they talking? And as long
This was a deliberate and human decision. The matchup between Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul will linger in memory. It will be analyzed, categorized, taught in training rooms, and argued over by commentators for years. The first remarks from both fighters were measured and effective. They emphasized what the fight demanded and what it gave back. Knowledge, mutual regard, and the drive to shape what comes next. Whether that future opens with a rematch, a renewed heavyweight campaign, or new opponents entirely, one truth stands. Both fighters will be evaluated not just by this result, but by their next moves. Now it's your turn. What's your take on the outcome? And who should Jake Paul face next to further show he belongs as a serious boxer? Share your thoughts in the comments and stay connected for all the latest boxing news.